What happened to Josiah was an accident, and it was one of the worst days of my life. I get emotional when I talk about it. That's a big part of, Josiah's story, is that God has a plan that's bigger. And I think if people see that about their lives, they understand and they know they can keep going. That's what Josiah did. Josiah, from the get-go, from age 0, the kid could catch a ball and could throw it and could hit it. It was almost weird how talented he was in sports. It was about 2 weeks before his 7th birthday. There's a truck parked. It's a work truck. The worker had just accidentally left that tool shelf down, and I didn't even see it. He was 2 steps behind me, and all of a sudden I hear the scream, and it's one of those screams that it starts and then it gets louder. I'll never forget it. He had walked into the corner of that shelf. Turn around and look. He's holding his eye. Immediately we rushed him to Vanderbilt. They did a surgery quickly. He had 3 stitches in his eyeball.
They thought that when that injury happened, that he wouldn't ever be able to play again, and he was such an athletic, energetic kid.
So we're sitting here thinking, these are all the things he can't do. We were constantly telling ourselves things that we didn't even know if it was true or not, right? And they ended up being lies because none of those things were true. He's performing at the highest level.
I really just had to focus on the ball and the spin on the ball. Even if you have 2 eyes that are good, it's really hard.
Let's go, 7. Have fun. Let's go.
His parents stood with him and let him continue to try to play these games that they thought he might not be able to play. But then all of a sudden, they see that, wait a minute, he can. To imagine how he does what he does, it doesn't make sense to me.
Hitting a baseball with these kids throwing it 75 miles an hour and standing right there 46 feet in front of them, I don't know.
He shows a lot of confidence, battling with one eye, can't see out of the other, hitting the ball, playing left field. It's really cool to see him do that.
He leads with his play. He does those little things that matter.
I feel like I have some limits, but I really just kind of try to ignore them and just be a kid and play baseball. Anything's possible. You just got to believe, and you got to focus on your goals.
Throw will be made. That will do it. Tennessee in extra innings stays alive, and they win.
Well, I still think somehow she still knows, I think she's looking down on him. I lost my mom back in April of last year. Well, I love you, Dad. And since that happened, Dad has just been brokenhearted. And he calls me last night and he's just like, Josiah, it's inspired me to keep going, to not give up.
Josiah is one of my heroes. I think he's got a real future in baseball, and I hope so. And there is the possibility that maybe one day he can get his vision back. Imagine that. A kid who can hit a 70-mile-an-hour fastball with 1 eye, what can he do with 2? We'll see.
The doctor comes back in to follow-up visit. She said, I think the retina's still attached on the top and the middle. There may be a possibility of sight in the future.
I hope I can influence kids that have the same problem as I do. There's some to be stuff that hold us back, but just don't let it.
With God, all things are possible. There's just been miracle after miracle. The human spirit is amazing, and people can overcome, people can accomplish things that you just don't even think are possible.
Porter rips this to center field. Carroll's going back. That's a grand slam. Josiah Porter.
Josiah's special, and he wouldn't let anything hold him back.